Changes to the coaching staff just a few short days after the Packers missed the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. 7 coaches will not be back for the Packers in their same role next season. Biggest one, Dom Capers, out as defensive coordinator. 9 seasons working closely together with Mike McCarthy. He's a legend of the sport. 8 years as a head coach. Won Coach of the Year award in '96 with Carolina. Packers fans, however, remember winning that one because they beat him in the NFC Championship game en route to a Super Bowl. Let's go through the changes. Also out with Dom Capers, Mike Turkovat was the Packers defensive line coach. Came in with him. This team losing a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball. Again, more than 2 decades in the league. Spent time with Capers in Carolina, so kind of a package deal on the in and on the out. And also out, Scott McCurley, assistant linebackers coach, 12 seasons with the Packers. He's a Pittsburgh guy, played his college football there. Mike McCarthy, of course, from that area, but he leaves now after more than a decade with the organization. And finally, Tim McGarrigle on the defensive side of the ball, quality control coach, first year here with Mike McCarthy. And he actually choked up a little bit talking about some of these dismissals of close personal friends, referencing that this is one of the most difficult parts of being a head coach in the National Football League.
The part that no one wants to talk about is the personal aspect of it. It's, that's what keeps me up at night is the personal changes that you make, and that's I'll never ever be comfortable with that.
Offensive side of the ball, offensive coordinator Edgar Bennett, 23 seasons with the Packers, been the OC for 3 years. Prior to that, he was the running back coach and, of course, played for Green Bay for 6 seasons as their running back. He could, however, be retained on the staff in a different role. And also moving on, Alex Van Pelt, quarterbacks coach. This was discussed more than a year ago. He's got interest to become a coordinator in the league somewhere else. Contract expired, simply was not renewed. Also, wide receiver coach Luke Getsy will become the offensive coordinator at Mississippi State. He leaves as well. Now, the most prying spot that Mike McCarthy will now try and fill is that hole left by Dom Capers. Again, that is the defensive coordinator position. There are 3 internal candidates that we got to talk about this one. Joe Witt, Darren Perry, Winston Moss. Moss already the associate head coach, more than 20 years experience in the league, was also a longtime player, been with the Packers since McCarthy's first season. Back in 2006, in the middle, Joe Witt, man in charge of the secondary. A lot of high praise around the organization about his skill set and developing that young talent. Darren Perry, the final internal candidate. He's been for almost a decade, long-standing tenure as a player in the league and as a